I sit in my favorite cafe, my book open in front of me. I'm supposed to be studying, but my mind drifts off every time I hear the sound of his guitar. Every Tuesday, Alex comes to play here. He's different from everyone else I know. He's older, calm, and has this soft smile that makes me feel warm inside. I don't know much about him, but there's something about him that feels safe, kind. I look down at my book, but I'm barely reading the words. My heart beats faster whenever I hear him play, and today his song is especially beautiful. I think he notices me watching because he looks up and catches my eye. For a second I feel nervous, but then he smiles and I smile back. I wonder if he can feel this connection too. When he finishes his song, he starts to put away his guitar, but then he walks over to my table. My heart jumps. I quickly close my book and try to look calm, but my cheeks feel hot. He stands next to my table and says, "Hi, do you come here often?" "Yes," I reply, feeling shy but excited. "I like to study here." He nods and says, "That's nice. I'm Alex, by the way." "I'm Lila," I say, trying to keep my voice steady. "I really like your music. It's beautiful." He smiles and I feel like I could melt. "Thank you, Lila," he says. "I'm glad you like it. I've seen you here before. You're always reading." "Yes," I say, laughing a little. "I like books." He sits down across from me, and we start talking. I can hardly believe it. He's actually here, talking to me. We talk about books, music, and places we like. He tells me he plays guitar as a hobby and works as a music teacher. His voice is soft, and he speaks with kindness, as if he's really interested in what I have to say. Time passes quickly, and soon an hour has gone by. I don't want it to end. For the first time in my life, I feel like someone truly understands me, like he's a friend I've known forever. He laughs at my jokes, and his laugh is warm, like sunlight. But then I notice a small silver ring on his finger. I look at it for a moment, feeling a strange pang in my chest. It's just a ring, I tell myself. Lots of people wear rings. It doesn't mean anything, right? I push the thought away and keep talking to him, not wanting this moment to end. After a while, Alex says he has to leave, and my heart sinks a little. "It was nice talking to you, Lila," he says, standing up. "Yes, it was really nice," I reply, hoping he'll come back. He gives me that warm smile again, and I feel a little spark of hope. Maybe he'll come back next week. For the next few days, I can't stop thinking about him. I keep remembering his laugh, his gentle voice, the way he looked at me as if he really cared. Every time I think about him, I feel a strange warmth in my chest. I know it's silly, but I can't help it. I feel like I've met someone special, like maybe he could be the one. The next Tuesday, I go back to the cafe hoping to see him again. And he's there, playing his guitar just like before. When he finishes, he looks around and sees me. He smiles and comes over, and my heart races again. "Hello, Lila," he says, sitting down. "It's nice to see you again." "It's nice to see you too," I reply, trying not to sound too excited. We start talking just like last time, and it feels so easy, so natural. I can't remember the last time I felt this happy talking to someone. As we talk, I feel myself getting closer to him, like he's someone I can trust. He shares small stories about his life, little things that make me laugh or feel touched, but he never talks about his family or his life outside of music. I notice the ring again, and my curiosity grows, but I don't want to ask. I don't want to ruin this moment. Each week I return to the cafe, and each week, Alex is there, ready to talk. My feelings for him grow stronger with each conversation. I can't stop thinking about him. I dream of him sometimes, imagine us together, walking, laughing, talking. I know it sounds silly, but I feel like he could be the one I've been waiting for. One evening, after a month of meeting at the cafe, we sit together, talking as usual. This time, though, he reaches out and touches my hand, just for a moment. It's a simple gesture, but it feels like magic. I look into his eyes, and for a second I think he might feel the same way. My heart pounds, and I feel a rush of happiness. But then, as he pulls his hand back, I see the ring again. Feels different this time. I can't ignore it anymore. I have to know the truth. Alex, I say slowly, my voice shaking a little. Can I ask you something? Of course, he replies, looking at me kindly. Your ring? Are you married? For a moment, he's silent. His face changes and he looks down at his hands. My heart feels heavy, like a stone, as I wait for his answer. Finally, he speaks. Yes, he says softly. I am married. Her name is Sarah. The words hit me like a cold wave. I feel my heart sink, and all the happiness I felt disappears in an instant. I don't know what to say. I feel foolish, hurt, and a little angry. I look down at my hands, trying to hide the tears that are starting to form. I didn't know, I managed to say. My voice sounds small, almost like it belongs to someone else. I'm sorry, Lila, he says, his voice filled with regret. I didn't mean to hurt you. I don't know. We sit there in silence for a moment. I don't know what to do. Don't know if I should be angry or sad. I feel everything all at once. Betrayal, confusion, sadness. I thought he was different, thought he was the one. Finally, I stand up, gathering my things. I need to go, I say, barely able to look at him. He nods, but his face looks sad, almost as if he's the one who's hurt. Lila, I'm sorry, he says again, but I can't bear to hear his voice right now. Without another word, I walk out of the cafe, my heart feeling heavy, my dreams shattered. As I walk home, I feel like I'm in a fog. The streets look blurry, and everything feels distant. I can't believe it. I fell in love with someone who can never be mine. The next few days are hard. I try to focus on my studies, but my mind keeps going back to Alex. I can still see his face, his gentle eyes, and the way he made me feel. I keep asking myself, how could I fall in love with a married man? I feel foolish, angry at myself, but also sad because a part of me misses him. I try not to think about him, but it's not easy. Everywhere I go, something reminds me of him. When I see people laughing together in the cafe, I think of our conversations. When I hear music, I remember the songs he played, the way his fingers moved over the guitar. It all feels too real, too close, even though I want to forget him. A week passes and I stay away from the cafe. I know he'll be there, playing his guitar, and I don't want to see him. I don't know if I'll be able to control my emotions if I do. So I stay home, studying, trying to keep my mind busy. But at night, I lie awake, thinking of him. I wonder if he's thinking of me, or if I was just a small moment in his life that he's already forgotten. One evening, my phone lights up with a message. My heart skips a beat when I see it's from Alex. He's asking if we can meet, just to talk. I stare at the message, unsure of what to do. A part of me wants to ignore it, to just move on. But another part of me wants to hear what he has to say. Maybe he can explain. Maybe there's something I don't know. After a long moment, I reply and agree to meet him. I tell myself it's just to get closure, to end things properly. I want to understand why he kept talking to me, even though he was married. I want answers, even if they might hurt. We meet at the cafe, the place where it all started. As I walk in, I feel nervous, my heart beating fast. He's already there, sitting at our usual table, looking down at his hands. When he sees me, he stands up, looking sad and serious. Thank you for coming, Lila, he says quietly. I sit down, feeling tense. I don't know why I'm here, Alex, I reply. I need to understand. He nods, looking down. I'm sorry, Lila. I never wanted to hurt you. When I met you, I didn't think it would go this far. I didn't expect to feel this connection with you. Then why didn't you tell me the truth from the start? I ask, my voice shaking. Why let me feel all these things if you knew it could never be real? He sighs, rubbing his hands together. I was selfish, he says softly. I should have been honest. But my marriage isn't what it seems. My wife, Sarah, we're together because of family. We don't love each other the way people in love should. It's more like a duty. I listen, feeling a mix of emotions. A part of me feels sorry for him, but another part of me feels angry. So, you wanted to escape from your marriage with me? I ask, my voice tight. That's not fair, Alex. He shakes his head. No, Lila, it's not like that. Care about you. I didn't see you as an escape. I saw you as someone special. You made me feel alive in a way I haven't felt in years. I look down, trying to process his words. It hurts to know that he feels trapped, but it hurts more to know that I can't have him. I feel like I'm in the middle of a storm, unsure of which way to turn. I don't know if I can do this, Alex, I say finally. I can't be with someone who belongs to someone else. I can't live with this feeling of being second. He reaches out to touch my hand, but I pull away. I understand, he says softly. But I don't want to lose you, Lila. I don't know what to do. I stand up, feeling tears in my eyes. Then maybe I have to go, Alex, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. Maybe it's better if we don't see each other anymore. He looks at me, pain in his eyes, but he nods. I don't want to make this harder for you. If this is what you want, I'll respect it. Without another word, I turn and leave the cafe, my heart breaking all over again. It feels like I'm leaving a part of myself behind, a piece of my heart that I can't take back. Over the next few days, I try to move on, but it feels impossible. I feel empty, like there's a hole in my heart that can't be filled. I try to remind myself that I did the right thing, that I shouldn't be with someone who is married. But my heart doesn't listen. My heart wants what it wants, even if it's wrong. One evening, I decide to go out with friends to distract myself. We go to a different cafe, a place I've never been to before. As we sit and chat, I start to feel a bit better, like maybe, just maybe, I can forget him. But then my phone buzzes, and I see a message from him. I hesitate, wondering if I should ignore it, but curiosity gets the better of me. His message is simple. I miss you, Lila. Please, can we talk? I feel my heart race, torn between wanting to see him and knowing that I shouldn't. I don't reply, putting my phone away and trying to focus on my friends. But the message stays in my mind, replaying over and over. When I get home that night, I lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about him. I wonder if he's as lonely as I am, if he feels the same pain. I know it's wrong, but I still feel that connection, that spark that made me fall for him. Finally, after hours of thinking, I decide to reply. I tell him we can meet, but this will be the last time. I need to end this for good, for my own sake. I can't keep living in this dream, hoping for something that can never happen. The next day, we meet in a small park. The sun is setting, and the sky is a soft pink. He's waiting for me, looking sad but hopeful. I walk up to him, taking a deep breath, ready to say goodbye. Lila, he says softly, his voice full of emotion. I'm so sorry for everything. I look at him, feeling the weight of all my feelings. I know what I have to do, but it doesn't make it any easier. Alex, we can't keep doing this, I say. I can't keep waiting for something that isn't real. You're married, and I need to let go. He nods, looking down. I know. I wish things were different. I wish I could be with you. I feel a tear slip down my cheek, and I quickly wipe it away. Goodbye, Alex, I say, my voice breaking. Goodbye, Lila, he whispers, and I turn and walk away, my heart heavy but my mind clear. It's time to move on, even if it hurts. I know it's the right thing to do. Days pass and I try to move on, but it's harder than I thought. My mind keeps going back to Alex. I remember his smile, his gentle voice, and the way he looked at me. It all feels so close, so real, even though I know it has to end. I try to remind myself that he's married, that I did the right thing by saying goodbye, but my heart doesn't listen. One morning, I'm sitting in my room, looking out the window, when I get a message. I look down at my phone, and to my surprise, it's not from Alex. It's from a number I don't know. The message reads, "Hello, Lila. My name is Sarah. I'm Alex's wife. I'd like to talk to you if that's okay." My heart skips a beat. My mind goes blank. I don't know what to think, and I feel a rush of fear. Why is she reaching out to me? Does she know everything? Is she angry? I sit there, staring at my phone, unsure of what to do. Part of me wants to ignore it, to delete the message and pretend I never saw it. but another part of me is curious. I want to know why she wants to talk to me. After a long moment, I reply, "Hello, Sarah. Yes, we can talk." I don't know what to expect, but my heart is beating fast as I wait for her response. Soon, she messages me back, asking if we can meet at a cafe nearby. I agree, feeling nervous but also a bit relieved. Maybe this will help me finally move on, to understand everything better. That afternoon, I walk into the cafe, my heart racing. I see her right away. She's sitting by the window, looking calm and gentle. She looks different from what I imagined. She has kind eyes, and there's a softness to her face. When she sees me, she gives a small smile and waves for me to sit down. "Hello, Lila," she says softly. Her voice is warm, not angry or upset. "Thank you for meeting me." I sit down, feeling nervous. "Hello," I reply, trying to keep my voice steady. She looks at me for a moment, as if studying my face. Then she sighs and says, "I know about you and Alex. He told me everything." My heart sinks. I don't know what to say. I feel embarrassed, ashamed. I look down at my hands, unable to meet her gaze. "I'm sorry," I whisper. "I didn't know he was married at first, and when I found out, I tried to end it." She nods slowly. "I believe you, Lila. I know Alex cares for you, and I don't blame you. This is not your fault." Her words surprise me. I expected anger, maybe tears, but instead, she's calm, understanding. "I don't understand," I say quietly. "Why are you here? Why did you want to talk to me?" She looks out the window, her eyes distant. "I wanted to tell you my side of the story," she says. "I wanted you to know that Alex and we don't have the kind of marriage you might think." I listen, feeling curious but still nervous. She takes a deep breath and continues. "When Alex and I got married, it was more because of our families. They wanted us to be together, and we thought it was the right thing to do. But over time, we realized that our marriage wasn't like others. There was no real love, no deep connection. We stayed together because it felt like our duty." Her words are soft but full of sadness. I can see that this isn't easy for her. "Why didn't you leave?" I ask gently. She shakes her head. "It's complicated. I've been sick for a while, and Alex has been there for me. He feels responsible for me, and I understand that. But I know he's not happy. And I know he feels something for you, Lila." I feel a mix of emotions. Sadness for her, guilt for being part of this, and confusion about what to do. "I care about him, Sarah, but I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to cause more pain." She nods, understanding. "I know, Lila. That's why I wanted to meet you. I wanted to ask you to be there for him, not now, but maybe one day. I know I can't give him the happiness he needs, and I want him to have a chance at real love, even if it's not with me." I look at her, feeling a strange sense of respect and sadness. You really mean that?" I ask, my voice soft. She nods. "Yes, I want him to be happy. I want you both to find happiness, even if it means I have to let go." For a moment, we sit in silence. I can feel the weight of her words, the sadness and acceptance in her eyes. She's giving me permission, but it feels complicated, heavy. I realize that love is not always simple, that it sometimes requires sacrifice and pain. "I don't know what to say," I whisper. "This is all so hard." She reaches out and places her hand on mine. Her touch is gentle, kind. "I know, Lila. I know this is not easy, but I wanted you to hear it from me. I wanted you to know that if you ever find your way back to Alex, you'll have my blessing." A tear slips down my cheek, and I quickly wipe it away. "Thank you, Sarah," I say, my voice shaking. "I didn't expect this. I didn't expect you to be so understanding." She gives a sad smile. "Life is complicated, Lila, and sometimes love is even more complicated. But I trust you to make the right choices. I trust you to be kind to him, to yourself, and to me." We sit there in silence for a moment, each of us lost in our own thoughts. I feel a sense of peace but also a deep sadness. I know that my feelings for Alex are real, but I also know that this is not a fairy tale. This is real life with real pain, real choices. As we say goodbye, I look at her one last time, feeling a strange connection to her. She's given me something precious, a chance to understand love in a new way. As I walk away, I feel stronger, more aware of the complexity of love. I know that I still have feelings for Alex, but now I feel different. I feel like I can let go, or at least try. I feel like I've learned something important, something that will stay with me forever. As I walk home, I wonder if I'll ever see Alex again, if our paths will cross in the future. But for now, I feel ready to move on, to take one step at a time, knowing that love is never simple but always worth the journey. After my meeting with Sarah, I feel a strange mix of emotions. I am sad, but I also feel a deep respect for her. She surprised me with her kindness, her calmness, and her honesty. I expected anger or tears, but instead, she offered me understanding. She even offered me a strange kind of blessing. I feel grateful, but it leaves me with a lot to think about. Over the next few days, I try to focus on my studies. I tell myself that meeting Sarah was my chance to let go, to move forward. But letting go is harder than it sounds. I still think about Alex every day. I remember his gentle smile, his warm voice, the way he made me feel safe and understood. Even after everything, I still care for him. I try to stay busy, spending more time with friends, going to new places, doing everything I can to keep my mind occupied. But no matter what I do, my thoughts keep drifting back to him. I think about our conversations, the laughter we shared, the feeling that we were meant to find each other. It's hard to let that go, even though I know I should. One afternoon, I'm sitting in a different cafe, far from the one where I met Alex. I look around, hoping I won't see anyone I know. I feel a little lonely, a little sad, and I just want to be alone with my thoughts. But as I sit there, my phone lights up with a message. I pick it up and feel my heart race when I see it's from Alex. "Hi, Lila." The message reads, "I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I just wanted to see how you are. I miss talking to you." I stare at the message, unsure of how to feel. Part of me wants to ignore it, to continue moving on. But another part of me wants to reply, wants to know how he's doing, wants to feel that connection again. I take a deep breath and finally type, "Hi, Alex. I'm okay. How are you?" He replies quickly, telling me he's been thinking about me, that he feels lonely without our conversations. He says he knows we shouldn't keep in touch, but he can't help it. He misses me. Reading his words, I feel a rush of emotions: joy, sadness, confusion. I know it's wrong to keep talking to him, but I miss him too. Over the next few days, we exchange a few more messages. We talk about small things: books, music, memories we shared. I try to keep the conversations light, but deep inside, I know it's not enough. I know these little messages are keeping the connection alive, making it harder for me to let go. One evening, Alex asks if we can meet. "Just one last time," he says. "I promise I won't ask again. I just want to see you." I feel torn. Part of me knows it's a bad idea, that meeting him will only bring back all the feelings I'm trying to forget. But another part of me wants to see him, to hear his voice, to say goodbye in person. After a long moment of thinking, I reply, "Okay, let's meet. But this really has to be the last time." We agree to meet in the same park where we last said goodbye. When I arrive, the sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. I see him waiting on a bench, looking thoughtful, and my heart skips a beat. He looks up and smiles softly when he sees me, and I feel my heart melt, just like before. "Thank you for meeting me, Lila," he says as I sit down beside him. I nod, feeling nervous but also happy to see him. "I wasn't sure if I should come," I admit, "but I guess I needed to see you too." We sit in silence for a moment, both of us lost in our thoughts. Finally, he speaks, his voice soft. "I know this has been difficult. I know I've made things complicated for you, but I couldn't stay away. You mean too much to me." Hearing his words, I feel a mix of emotions: joy, pain, longing. "Alex, you mean a lot to me too," I say. "But this isn't fair to either of us. You're married. We can't keep doing this." He nods slowly, looking down. "I know. I wish things were different. I wish I could be with you. But I also don't want to hurt Sarah. She's been there for me, even if we don't have the kind of love you and I share. I think about Sarah's words, about how she wanted Alex to be happy, even if it meant letting go. But I still don't know if I can be part of this. I met Sarah, I say quietly, watching his reaction. He looks up, surprised. You? You met her? Yes. She reached out to me. She told me about your marriage, about her illness, and how she feels. She even gave us her blessing. Alex's eyes fill with sadness, and he nods, understanding. She's an amazing person. I never wanted to hurt her, but I also don't want to lose you. I feel a tear slip down my cheek, and I quickly wipe it away. Alex, I care about you so much, but I don't know if I can live with this. I don't know if I can be with someone who is tied to another person, no matter what the situation is. He reaches out, taking my hand gently. His touch is warm, comforting, but also bittersweet. I understand, Lila. I don't want to make things harder for you. If you need to walk away, I'll respect that. But please know that you'll always be in my heart. For a moment we sit there, holding hands, both of us silent, both of us feeling the weight of our choices. I feel a deep sadness but also a sense of peace. I know this is the end, that we can't keep holding on to something that can never fully be ours. Goodbye, Alex. I whisper, my voice breaking. Goodbye, Lila. He replies, his voice soft and full of sorrow. I'll never forget you. I stand up, letting go of his hand, and start to walk away. My heart feels heavy, but also free, like I'm finally letting go of a burden I've been carrying for too long. As I walk away, I don't look back. I know that if I do, I'll want to run back to him, to hold on to him for just a little longer. But I also know that this is the right thing to do. As I leave the park, the sun has set, and the sky is darkening. I feel a mix of sadness and strength. I know that I will always carry a piece of him with me, but I also know that I am ready to move on, to find happiness on my own terms. For the first time in a long time, I feel a sense of peace. I don't know what the future holds, but I know I am strong enough to face it. I walk away, my heart heavy but my mind clear, ready to start a new chapter in my life. After saying goodbye to Alex in the park, I try to move forward. But even though I feel stronger, the pain is still there, deep inside. Some days I feel fine. I go to my classes, spend time with my friends, and even laugh sometimes. But other days I feel empty. I think of him, of the times we shared, and my heart feels heavy. It's hard to let go, even when you know it's the right thing. One afternoon, I'm sitting at home, reading a book to keep my mind busy, when I hear my phone buzz. I pick it up, expecting a message from a friend or family member. But when I look at the screen, my heart stops. It's another message from Sarah. Hello, Lila. Her message says, I hope you're well. I know this might be unexpected, but I wanted to talk to you again, if you're willing. I have something important to share. I sit there, staring at the screen, feeling confused and a little nervous. Why does she want to talk to me again? Haven't we said everything already? But a part of me is curious, and I feel that maybe this is important. After a moment, I type a reply. Hello, Sarah. Yes, we can meet. When and where? She suggests meeting at the same cafe as before, and I agree. I feel a mixture of emotions as I get ready to go. I'm curious, nervous, and maybe a little afraid. But I tell myself that this is part of letting go, part of moving on. Maybe this meeting will help me find some kind of peace. When I arrive at the cafe, I see her sitting by the window, just like last time. She looks calm, but there's a sadness in her eyes. She smiles when she sees me, and I smile back, feeling a strange warmth toward her. Despite everything, I respect her deeply. Hello, Lila, she says as I sit down. Thank you for coming. Of course, I reply. Is everything okay? She pauses for a moment, looking down at her hands. I wanted to see you because there's something I didn't tell you before. Something important. She takes a deep breath, and I can see that this is hard for her to say. I nod, feeling nervous but listening closely. What is it? She looks up at me, her eyes full of sadness. My health has been worse lately, she says softly. The doctors have told me that I don't have much time left. Her words hit me like a wave. I feel my chest tighten, and I struggle to find the right words. Oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry. She nods, a small, sad smile on her face. Thank you, Lila. I've known for a while, but I didn't want to tell Alex. I didn't want him to worry, to feel trapped. But now, I think he needs to know. And I wanted you to know too. I sit there, trying to process what she's saying. My mind feels foggy, full of questions and emotions. Why are you telling me this? I ask gently. She looks at me, her expression full of understanding. Because, Lila, I want you to be there for him when I'm gone. I want him to have someone who cares for him, someone who makes him happy. And I believe that person is you. Her words fill me with a mix of emotions. Sadness, confusion, and even guilt. But Sarah, I don't know if I can do that. I don't want to be part of more pain, more heartbreak. She reaches across the table, taking my hand in hers. Her touch is warm, comforting, and I feel a sense of peace. I understand, Lila, but I also know that love is not always simple. Sometimes it's about sacrifice, about letting go so others can be happy. I want Alex to be happy, even if I'm not here to see it. I feel tears in my eyes, and I quickly wipe them away. This is all so hard, Sarah. I care about him, but I don't want to hurt anyone. She nods, her eyes gentle. I know, Lila, but I trust you. I trust that you'll be kind to him, that you'll bring him the happiness he deserves. And I wanted you to know that if you ever find yourself with him, you have my blessing. Her words stay with me, filling my heart with a strange warmth and sadness. I never imagined love could be this complicated, this full of pain and beauty. I look at her, feeling grateful but also lost. Thank you, Sarah. I don't know what to say. She smiles softly. You don't have to say anything, Lila. Just promise me you'll take care of him if you ever have the chance. I nod, feeling a deep respect for her. I promise, I say quietly. We sit there in silence for a moment, each of us lost in our own thoughts. I feel a strange connection to her, like we are two people who understand each other deeply. Even though our lives have been so different, I know that this conversation will stay with me forever, a reminder of the complexity and depth of love. As we say goodbye, she gives me a gentle hug, and I feel her warmth, her kindness. I walk away from the cafe, my heart heavy but also light, full of gratitude and sadness. I know that this meeting has changed me, that I will carry her words with me wherever I go. Over the next few days, I think about Sarah's words, about her blessing. I feel a strange sense of responsibility, a duty to honor her wishes. But I also feel lost, unsure of what the future holds. I still love Alex, but I don't know if I can be with him, even with Sarah's blessing. Love is complicated, and I don't know if I'm ready for it. One night, as I lie in bed, I think of Alex, of the memories we shared, of the connection we felt. I know that my heart still cares for him, that a part of me will always love him. But I also know that love comes with choices, with sacrifices. I remember Sarah's words, her strength, her wish for happiness. As I close my eyes, I feel a sense of peace, like a part of me is finally letting go. I don't know what will happen next, but I know that whatever I choose, it will be the right choice. A choice made with love, respect, and honesty. After my talk with Sarah, I spend many days thinking about everything she told me. Her words stay with me, like a soft voice in the back of my mind. She wants Alex to be happy, even if that happiness is with someone else. She trusts me to care for him, but she also understands if I choose to walk away. I feel grateful for her kindness, for her honesty, but I also feel heavy with responsibility. This isn't a decision I can take lightly. I try to live my life as usual. I go to my classes, meet friends, and try to enjoy small things each day. But Alex is always there, somewhere in my thoughts. I still care about him, and I still miss him, even though I've tried to let go. Sarah's words make everything harder, and yet, they also bring a strange sense of peace. She has given me her blessing, but I know that doesn't make things simple. One evening, I decide to take a walk to clear my mind. The sun is setting, and the sky is painted in soft colors: pink, orange, and purple. I walk through the quiet streets, feeling a gentle breeze on my face. The world feels calm, peaceful, and I feel a bit lighter. As I turn a corner, I see someone familiar sitting alone on a bench in the park. It's Alex. He looks lost in thought, his face soft and sad. My heart beats faster when I see him, and I feel a mix of emotions: happiness, sadness, and something I can't quite name. I stand there for a moment, watching him, unsure if I should go over or just walk away. But then he looks up and sees me. His eyes light up with surprise, and he gives me a small smile. I feel my heart warm, and before I know it, I'm walking toward him. "Hello, Alex," I say softly as I sit down next to him. "Hi, Lila," he replies, his voice quiet but warm. "I didn't expect to see you here. I was just taking a walk," I say, looking out at the trees. "I didn't expect to see you either." We sit there in silence for a moment, both of us watching the sunset. The colors in the sky are fading, turning to soft shades of blue and gray. I feel calm, peaceful, just sitting here with him, not needing to say much. After a while, Alex speaks. "I met with Sarah yesterday," he says, his voice low. "She told me about her health, about what the doctor said." I look at him, feeling a deep sadness. "I'm so sorry, Alex. I know this must be hard for you." He nods, his eyes full of sadness. "It is, but she was so strong. She told me not to worry, that she just wants me to be happy. I don't know how she can be so understanding, so selfless." I nod, remembering my own conversation with her. She told me the same thing. She even gave us her blessing if we ever want to be together. He looks at me, surprised, and then he nods slowly. "Yes, she told me that too. I still can't believe it. She has so much kindness, so much strength. I don't know if I deserve it." We sit there, both of us feeling the weight of her words, her wishes. I know that this is a chance for us, a chance to be together. But I also know it won't be easy. There's so much pain, so much loss, and I don't know if I'm ready for it. "I care about you, Alex," I say softly, looking down at my hands. "I care about you so much, but I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can be with you after everything. It feels complicated." He reaches out, gently placing his hand over mine. This touch is warm, comforting, and I feel a sense of peace. "I understand, Lila. I don't want to make things harder for you. I just want you to be happy. If being with me brings you pain, then I will respect whatever you choose." I look at him, feeling tears in my eyes. "It's not that I don't want to be with you, Alex. It's just, I don't know if it's the right time. I feel like there's so much we both need to heal from." He nods, understanding. "Maybe you're right. Maybe we both need time to heal, to find peace within ourselves before we try to be together. I don't want our love to be born out of pain. I want it to be something pure, something strong." I feel a deep respect for him in that moment, for his understanding, his patience. I know he cares for me and I know I care for him. But love is not always simple. Sometimes it takes time, space, and growth. "Maybe one day when the time is right," I say softly, giving him a small smile. He smiles back, his eyes warm. "Yes, maybe one day. And when that day comes, I'll be here waiting." We sit there for a while longer, watching as the sky grows darker. I feel a strange sense of peace, a feeling that everything will be okay. I know that I don't have to rush, that I can take my time. I can find my own happiness, my own strength, and if one day our paths cross again, we can start fresh, with open hearts. As I stand up to leave, he stands with me, and we share a gentle, silent goodbye. There are no promises, no rushed decisions. Just an understanding, a quiet respect. I walk away, feeling lighter, knowing that I have made the right choice. Over the next few weeks, I start to feel stronger. I focus on my studies, my friends, and myself. I learn to find happiness in small things: a sunny day, a good book, a laugh with a friend. I realize that love is not just about being with someone. It's also about growing, learning, and finding peace within. Sometimes I still think about Alex. I wonder what he's doing, if he's healing too, if he feels the same peace I feel. But I know that, for now, we are both on our own paths, and that's okay. I feel a quiet confidence, a belief that life will lead us where we need to be. One evening, I sit by my window, watching the stars in the night sky. I feel a sense of hope, a feeling that, no matter what happens, I will be okay. I know that love will find me when the time is right, and until then, I am happy just being me. As I look out at the stars, I whisper a quiet goodbye to the past, to the pain, and to the love that taught me so much. And with that, I let go, ready to step into a new chapter, full of hope and strength.